You spend all this effort trying to recruit caregivers, but what about retention? Retention is so critical, so essential. On today's episode of Home Care Digital, we're gonna be diving in to some more home care benchmarking studies. This is an incredible report with so many amazing stats. If you haven't checked out part 1 and part 2, definitely want to check that out before we get into this episode. But today is all about understanding retention, which is huge in everything that we're doing, because if we're just recruiting people and then they leave, we're missing a huge boat. And so today, we're spending our time talking about how you can better retain your caregivers. So here are some of the stats from the benchmarking study on page 50, where we talk about the top caregiver recruitment sources for 2021 and understanding the caregiver turnover. So this is a big aspect, right? This is the part where in part 2, I referenced it's so important that we understand both aspects of this part. Because if you remember in the previous episode, I talked about how Indeed was the best referral source for caregivers, but it also has the highest turnover rate. That's not good, right? So even though we're getting more caregivers from Indeed, that doesn't make it the best referral source, even though statistically it may be getting you the most hires, but if it's not retaining them, then that's a problem. This is a big turnover, right? Same with MyCNA Jobs, 77, social media is 60, and it starts to go down. But here's the kicker, right? 31%, 0.6, and word of mouth, 23.4. And these are the numbers that we're really gonna focus on. And we're gonna dive into each of these, but it's so critical that we know. So in understanding these stats, right, and understanding that Indeed has this higher turnover rate, right, then we wanna make sure that we're focusing on current employees, word of mouth, right? We have the lowest retention or turnover rate with current employees and word of mouth. So this is where we want to be spending a lot of our time. Not to mention from last week, right? I talked about that from current employees is also a good referral source. But the difference is, right? Indeed was the top referral source, but has a higher turnover, right? So current employees is going to be your best medium for not only recruiting, but also retaining. So what are 3 things that you can do to retain more caregivers? Number 1, get them invested. When you're attracting and you're looking to recruit more people, you gotta share your why, you gotta share your story, right? Simon Sinek says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. That's what we're doing. We're selling to caregivers. Sharing your why is essential. It's gonna help you to not only recruit caregivers, but also that they wanna stick around because they believe in your mission. They believe in what your goals are. They believe in what you're trying to do. They believe in your values. They believe in everything that you're looking to accomplish with your business in a bigger vision. But if you don't have a vision and you don't have a goal, then you can't get people to be invested in your long-term vision and your long-term goals. So when you're utilizing and you're thinking about, hey, in your process, when people are coming in and joining your team, are you sharing your mission? Are you using this in the process of when they're applying, right? We want to share all of these things. And a lot of times we think of these as like retention techniques, but they're also recruitment. So much they correlate with what we're doing from a recruitment standpoint and what we're doing from a retention standpoint, right? Are your caregivers passionate about the same goal that you're looking to achieve? You know that the best caregivers are ones that really care. But do they just feel they're another cog in the machine? Or do they feel that they're part of a bigger mission, part of a bigger goal within your organization? You have that opportunity to be that, but it starts with you as the owner to be that light, to showcase what your mission is and what your goals are and what you're trying to achieve. That's gonna be an amazing differentiator. Get your caregivers, get your team invested behind you so that they want to scream at the rooftops, hey, I love this company, they're the best company, they have a great vision, great goals, and I'm grateful to be a part of it, and they want to stick around because of that reason. Number 2, lean into appreciation, right? I love the idea of like writing personal thank you cards. I talk about this often, video messaging. This is such an amazing tool as a retention technique because people are not getting video. People do not send video messages. And so if you're sending these video messages to your caregivers, to your care team, really anyone in your organization, not to mention referral sources, all kinds of people, right? Not gonna get into that today. But when you're sending a video message to a caregiver, showing them how much you appreciate them and doing it in a video format when other other people aren't doing that, that's gonna help them stick around, because people don't remember what you said, they remember how you made them feel. That's Maya Angelou. Such an amazing quote, right? But when we're sending these video messages, that's what they feel, right? You put a couple extra money in their paycheck, yeah, they forget about it next week, right? But if you're doing things that really go above and beyond to showcase appreciation, they're gonna remember that feeling. They're gonna remember how you made them feel if you take the time to do amazing things about like sending video messages. The other aspect too is showcasing them on social media. You know, I talk a lot about social media on this channel, and so it's critical that we're doing that. And so if we can give them public recognition for whatever they're doing, maybe, you know, they were employee of the month, right? That's one aspect that you can do, but you can just showcase them for a particular thing that they did, right? And then what's gonna help them too is that if you post on social media, then they're more likely to share, right? So then that goes into all of the stats that we talked about over the last 3 weeks in understanding, hey, this is great. If we post about them, then they're gonna be more likely to share it, and then their audience sees it, whether it's a caregiver that they're looking to attract or clients. Growing that, current employees are your best referral sources for both caregivers and for clients. So showcasing them on social media presents an opportunity for them to want to share what you're posting, versus they're not just going to necessarily share whatever you're sharing, but if it's about them, they'll absolutely share. Number 3, focus on them. Jim Rohn says, if you help enough people get what they want, you can have everything that you want, right? So what are their goals? What are the goals that caregivers want to achieve? How are you helping them to achieve their goals? And I'm going to go to more into this in another episode, but I wanted to just plant the seed here and understanding this is such an amazing aspect. How are you helping them to achieve their goals? Because often we ask the question, hey, what are your goals for the next couple years in the interview? But if you're not following up and you're not actually helping them achieve their goals, then what's the point, right? It needs to be something that you're focusing on them and helping them to achieve their goals, because if you can do that, they're gonna want to stick around. They're gonna want to continue to work with you because you've done more than just put money on their table, right? Food on their table. You've actually helped them to achieve bigger goals that they have for their life. And that is an impact that can't be measured. If you like this video and you want to learn more about how you can attract clients, referral sources, and caregivers, you gotta attend my upcoming workshop. All you gotta do is go to thedigitalchamps.com/workshop to learn more.